Later, FA Cup action from the 1980s, Grimsby against Arsenal, and a few familiar faces on view. But first news from the Premiership with Chris.
Well, Guy Whittingham's the taste of Sheffield Wednesday supporters today. His goal earning the Owls a 1-0 win at Anfield, Liverpool's first home defeat of the season. George Graham and the Leeds fans reckon keeper Nigel Martin should be back in the England setup after a shutout against Middlesbrough, 0-0 at the Riverside. Howard Wilkinson's again been linked with a return to management at Manchester City. Wimbledon are unbeaten now in 18 after a 3-1 win at Sunderland. The crazy gang are dreaming of Europe. And will Leeds lose out in the race to sign their old boy John Scales? Spurs said to be weighing up an offer. So Leeds up to 13th place and well clear of the bottom three. Forest are falling away but have games in hand. West Ham play Manchester United today. Wednesday are up to 9th, Wimbledon 2nd. Arsenal 4 points clear after a last-minute equaliser in a 2-2 draw with Derby.
Well, now let's continue with more action from the Nationwide League First Division. Our first stop, St Andrews, Birmingham City against Grimsby Town. The commentator, Peter Brackley.
Gary Childs, former Birmingham player. Oh, and almost put through his own goal then by Gary Ablett. Gallimore to Childs. Woods, now Livingston. Again, confident approach play from Grimsby, and another superb stop by Steve Sutton. Bowen. It's too long for Johnson, who'd made the forward run. Cook. Threading it through, O'Connor. He was onside then. It goes Bowen! Well, it was the best chance they've had in this first half. As it squirmed across goal, Bowen swung and completely missed. Free kick from Graham Roger. Bruce with Livingston, and the referee rules that Bruce was the aggressor then. Here is Mendonca, and he's whipped it in low and off the post. Sutton was beaten at last, and the upright came to Birmingham's rescue. Curled in by Mendonca, just a hint maybe of a deflection on the way, and then it was Ablett who cleared for the corner. Now Johnson to O'Connor. Combining well with Furlong. O'Connor again, slipped on to Bowen, who's onside. Bowen going through. Cook with the corner. Bruce saying hang on. And they're taking it quickly. O'Connor to Jackson. Jackson hitting it just over the bar. There's no shortage of fight in there for Birmingham now. Francis on the near post, didn't reach him. Here's O'Connor! Terrific save, in goes Francis. And that was a brilliant stop there by Piercy. Flung himself at the shot on the near post. Driven in by O'Connor and somehow kept out by Piercy. He's taken it quickly too to O'Connor. Bruce arriving in the middle now. It was Francis on the near post. Jackson hooking it back in. Then Johnson. Green with a shot that's charged down. In goes Bruce.
Under Dave Bassett, Sheffield United had the reputation of a long ball team. Things were supposed to have changed under Howard Kendall, but they proved yesterday there are times when Route 1 football can be devastating. Peter Couture just missed that early opening, but when goalkeeper Alan Kelly again found Gareth Taylor's head in only the 14th minute, the Belarus international kept his head this time to put the Blades in front with his 9th goal of the season. Kelly's contribution to the cause wasn't just confined to launching attacks, he also made crucial saves. That to deny Andy Thompson. The only other occasion that Pompey threatened to spoil Howard Kendall celebrating his first anniversary of his arrival at Bramall Lane was when Fitzroy Simpson fired goalwards, but Kelly dealt comfortably with that too. Sheffield United 1, Portsmouth 0.
Barnsley's excellent home form, coupled with Southend's record on their travel, suggested a tight contest at Oakwell, but it was nothing of the sort. Paul Wilkinson was close early on, but couldn't beat Simon Royce and the woodwork. It just wouldn't come down for Steve Davis. Darren Sheridan then set up Clint Marcel, but the fan celebrations were again premature. Time to call for John Hendry. A surging run to set up Marcel. This time he was able to convert the hardest chance of the lot, but the linesman's flag was up to deny him. Unbelievably, it was still goalless at half-time, and Wilkinson won't want to be reminded of this miss after good work by Nicky Eden. The Barnsley keeper Dave Watson was a spectator for most of the first 45, but he didn't let his concentration slip for Southend's one effort of note. The Essex men looked set for a sixth away draw until the final 18 minutes, but Hendry had other ideas and the wait was worthwhile. That's his weaker foot. The stuffing was knocked out of Southend, and 3 minutes later Redfern's corner found its way to Wilkinson, and the Southend protests for a foul were waved away. It was all wrapped up in the final minute, substitute Bullock's cross eluding all the defenders, and then gift wrap for Wilkinson. The Middlesbrough Old Boys getting the goals, but a good all-round team performance. Barnsley 3, Southend 0.
There have been murmurings of discontent at the McAlpine as injury-ravaged Huddersfield have slipped down the table. They needed a win yesterday and got it. In the 34th minute, John Polston ruthlessly cut down Steve Jenkins, and Lee Makel's free kick was expertly redirected past Brian Gunn by Andy Payton. Town's victory against a side very much in playoff contention might easily have been more emphatic. Jenkins was unable to beat Gunn from an acute angle, and Paul Dalton just unable to pick up the pieces. But the points were wrapped up 10 minutes after half-time. Makel's through ball collected by Payton, who kept cool to collect his second of the game and his 11th of the season. Payton, in fact, is the only man to score for Town in their last 6 matches, and he should have completed a hat-trick when Jenkins set him free again with only Gunn to beat. This time the finish wasn't so assured. Norwich's best effort in reply was Danny Mills' free kick, which struck a post with Steve Francis well beaten. The final score, Huddersfield 2, Norwich 0. Relief for Town's fans, a satisfying day's work for Andy Payton.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get into double figures before Christmas, you know, as a striker. And I've done that, and, you know, the team played well. I could have really had, you know, 3 or 4, really. I was a bit unfortunate, but, I mean, it was crucial 3 points today for the lads.
And those 3 points moved Town up to 13th in the table, just 4 points off the playoffs. But the First Division's very tight, so no cause yet for Grimsby and Bradford to panic, even though they're in the bottom 3. However, it is beginning to look pretty good at the top of the table.
Happy